सेव किया था ना?
मैं सिर्फ इसलिए गया था क्योंकि उसने मुझे कॉल किया, that's it. But listen तो.
Save it for someone else.
जिंदगी में सेव करना जरूरी है, मगर जब बात पैसों की हो, सिर्फ सेविंग से काम नहीं चलेगा। इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए और अपने सेविंग्स को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दीजिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Pictures of Prime Minister Narendra Modi getting down from a vehicle covered with flower petals at the BJP headquarters to a grand welcome by his BJP colleagues last Wednesday triggered a social media firestorm. People uploaded pictures and videos of these celebrations along with those of grieving family members and colleagues of 3 army and police officers killed early that day by militants at Kokarnag in Anantnag district of South Kashmir. Modi's fiery speeches against opposition parties, the next step from poll-bound Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, gave them more ammunition to target him. He chose not to say a word of condemnation or condolence. Incidentally, on the 13th of September, the day these officers were killed, the Prime Minister's office posted 3 tweets in 3 different languages to offer condolences and ex gratia payments to the families of 11 pilgrims who were killed in a road accident in Rajasthan. But no tweet by him or any of his ministers on the Anantnag incident. Prime Minister Modi's minders obviously did not see the bad optics of him doing politics as usual and celebrating when the nation was mourning the death of those officers. It looked insensitive. Modi bashers and political adversaries had a field day, obviously, with Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal asking, "Don't you feel the grief?" That's what he asked. Curiously, while the PM's silence did sound insensitive and strange, his governments and parties' spin doctors didn't have to be so defensive. They didn't have to go silent. The Prime Minister doesn't have to react publicly all the time. They could have said. His actions have spoken louder on national security matters. 9 years of power, however, seem to have brought complacency, if not indifference, to his communication managers. There were some striking visuals on that day which seemed to have gone unnoticed. Candlelight marches across the Kashmir Valley, including the line of control, to pay homage to Kokarnag martyrs. This is what Greater Kashmir reported. I'm quoting from a Greater Kashmir report. Quote, "These marches commenced at various locations across Kupwara. The protesters proceeded through towns and villages, attracting a large and diverse crowd of people. The atmosphere was somber and the silence was profound as participants holding flickering candles walked in unison, paying their respect to the fallen heroes. Many held placards with messages of condolence, patriotism and appreciation for the Indian Army and J&K police." Unquote. That was a report in Greater Kashmir. When was the last time you saw or read such news after our soldiers were killed by militants in Jammu and Kashmir? Kashmir Valley was not used to witnessing candle light marches in solidarity with the army. So yes, Kashmir is changing. And incidents like what happened in Kokarnag indicate growing desperation of those across the border about this change in Kashmir. When J&K's special status was revoked on 5th of August 2019, there were doomsayers everywhere. They have been proved wrong. Home Ministry statistics are revealing. So let me give you some statistics. From the 2nd of October 2016 to the 4th of August 2019, there were 959 acts of terror, which came down to 654 a 32% reduction from 5th of August 2019 to 6th of June 2022. That's the Home Ministry data. Basically, 3 years before the invalidation of Article 370 and the corresponding period after that showed significant improvements. I am quoting from the Indian Express report. The paper reported, that the deaths of civilians and security personnel have gone down by 14% and 52% respectively. As for cross-border infiltration, it registered a significant decline from 141 in 2019 to 51 in 2020, 34 in 2021, 14 in 2022, and there was zero net infiltration till June 2023. LG Manoj Sinha's healing touch is what I am going to talk about here. The figures I just quoted give an idea of how successfully Indian security forces have put down attempts from across the border to create trouble in Jammu and Kashmir, especially after the invalidation of Article 370. Our security forces do it time and again, no matter which political dispensation is in Delhi or Srinagar. In case of J&K, the role of civilian administration becomes very important in terms of creating a favorable environment for them to deal with external threats. That's where the J&K administration led by Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has done a commendable job. Let's look at another data set. Just bear with me because these numbers are important to try to explain how things are changing. In 2022, 1 crore 85 lakh tourists visited the UT of J&K. And this year it's expected to go up to 2.25 crore. Highways and tunnel projects worth 1.5 lakh crores are underway. Earlier 6-kilometer road was built every day, now it's 50 kilometers per day. Since independence till 2021, there were investments worth 13 to 14,000 crores in J&K. Today, investments worth 26,000 crores, 26,000 crores are already on the ground, and another 75 to 80,000 crores are set to come in the next 2 years. That's what the LGA told me. 10 lakh square feet is the area of the mega mall to be constructed in Srinagar. It will be the biggest in North India. Dubai-based MR Group has already been given the land. And then the last point, J&K is the first UT or a state in the country where every family is covered under the health insurance of 5 lakh rupees. The administration is spending 2 crores daily on the treatment of the people under this scheme. These numbers may read like another advertisement by a state or UT administration, just that it takes a lot more to achieve it in Kashmir. Yet, they don't really adequately capture the real picture of change in Kashmir. So, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha said in an interview with ThePrint last month that there was a time terrorists used to call for bands, school band, college band, trade band and what not. He told me those days are gone. People have got used to living their lives on their own terms. You will see young people holding musical concerts till late at night, just like you see them in Western countries. That was Manoj Sinha telling me. So I decided to check it out on Sunday. In September 2022, he had inaugurated Inox multiplex in Srinagar, the first after 3 decades. So at 4 p.m. on Sunday, I tried to book a ticket online for the 5 p.m. show of Shah Rukh Khan's Jawan at Inox. And what I saw, all Royal and Royal Club seats were sold out. That was at 4 o'clock, an hour before the show was to start. Only 2 out of 76 seats in the club category were available. 28 out of 38 tickets were, however, available in the executive class, which was the cheapest for 350 rupees. At 4:50 p.m., 10 minutes before the show was to start, I checked again. All but 3 of total 178 seats were sold out. When Prime Minister Narendra Modi sent Manoj Sinha to Srinagar as LG in August 2020, he was sending a message that he wanted a politician to provide a healing touch, not a retired bureaucrat or a retired general, to just grease the wheels of administration and enjoy the salubrious surroundings of the Raj Bhavan in Srinagar. In 53 years since Karan Singh relinquished the governor's post, Sinha was only the second politician to occupy the post of governor or lieutenant governor. His predecessor, Satpal Malik's 14-month tenure was largely ceremonial. Sinha has carried out the PM's brief rather commendably. The figures I just quoted are just one aspect of his administration. It takes time for all those investments and development works to sink in, especially in a place like Kashmir with conflicting aspirations. His biggest contribution has been to bring Delhi much closer to Kashmir and make people realize that Article 370 was a mere notional privilege that made no difference to their lives. Many were surprised when they saw Manoj Sinha attending 10th Muharram procession in Srinagar in July, ignoring security concerns. So when I asked him about it, that why you attended the Muharram procession, because there was security risk, his response was, it's my responsibility as the head of the state to participate in the affairs of the people of all faiths. If I go for Amarnath Yatra, I have to go for Muharram procession, and I have to go to Gurudwaras too. These gestures have worked. No one in the valley is complaining against the administration actively renovating so many temples, because he is doing the same to mosques and Gurudwaras. There is not a day when the LG is not out on tour to some place or the other in far-flung militancy infested areas, mostly travelling by roads despite the risks. And when I asked about him, he said, "Jo likha hota hai wahi hoga." I mean, whatever is there in the fate will happen. Modi ji ne jo kaam diya hai, karna hai. So whatever Modi ji has asked me to do, I have to carry it out. That was Manoj Sinha telling me. It might sound like a politically correct thing to say, that jo hota hai dekha jayega. But you have to be in Kashmir to understand what it entails to be among the people. His push for sports tournaments has drawn out lakhs of enthusiastic youth. Hundreds of them come out to avail themselves of schemes that give financial incentives for entrepreneurship. The other day, a Muslim girl came to meet Sinha. She complained that Indian philosophy was not being taught in colleges and universities there. That should give a measure of the trust he has started enjoying among the youth there. Nullification of Article 35A in August 2019 had raised great apprehensions in Jammu and Kashmir, especially about outsiders buying land and immovable properties that would change the demography of the valley. 4 years since then, those apprehensions have subsided, if not gone completely. Manoj Sinha says it was more of a propaganda that the government wanted to bring people from outside and settle them there to change Kashmir's demography. When it comes to agricultural land, people of Himachal and Uttarakhand have the special rights, and so have the people of J&K. Land is given for industries, schools, colleges and hospitals only. That was the LG asserting. Today, travel around in Kashmir, the bitterness one sensed in Kashmiri's tone about the scrapping of Article 317, 2019, 20, 21 is not so acute any longer. No one wants to lose a privilege, howsoever notional it might be. Kashmiris today look willing to engage with PM Modi through his emissary, Manoj Sinha. It's probably time for the centre to go for elections in J&K and let Kashmiris demand the same commitment and accountability from their political representatives. Let the next chief minister, be it Omar Abdullah or Mehbooba Mufti, prove that they can do better. That's all from me in this episode of Politically Correct. Thank you.